It is Tuesday. It's the 25th of June. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Our top stories today. The land of the gods feels nature's wrath. It's been a week since monsoon rains struck northern India, causing flooding and landslides, and they haven't stopped. Thousands of people are still waiting to be rescued, while mass cremations are being held for many of the victims. Attempts by the army to reach thousands of people still stranded have been delayed, and that's because downpours have swept away crucial roads and bridges. The state of Uttarakhand was the worst hit by the flash floods. CNN senior international correspondent Nick Robertson joins us now down the line from the city of Rishikesh in Uttarakhand. Nick, what have you been able to see?
Well, the military relief effort to try to reach some of those trapped people has continued today. It's certainly delayed and hampered yesterday by heavy rains this morning.
Robertson speaking to us there from the city of Rishikesh in Uttarakhand. And coming up here on CNN News Center, we'll take you live to the World Weather Center for more on the forecast for India and the region. Mara Ramos will join us in less than 10 minutes. Now, in the past 24 hours, more family members and government officials have been to Nelson Mandela's bedside. The former South African leader remains in critical condition in a Pretoria hospital. Outside the hospital, there's a growing crowd waiting for news on the 94-year-old's health. CNN's Robin Curnow is there, and she joins us now live with more on that. Robin.
Hi there, Monita. Well, indeed, there's definitely far more activity outside this hospital.
There in Pretoria. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. A peaceful transition of power in an Arab country. We take you live to Doha to look ahead to a new regime in... You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. Some of the stories that we're following for you here on the show today. Afghan security forces say they've fought off a Taliban attack on the presidential palace. 3 guards died in the assault. It comes a week after the international coalition handed responsibility for security to Afghan forces. The small but influential Persian Gulf country of Qatar has a new leader, and the transition of power is unlike any other in the Arab region. Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani is stepping down, and he's done so willingly. Instead of being overthrown, he's handed power to his 33-year-old son. Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani is now the youngest leader in the region. CNN's Reza Sayed joins us now from Doha. And Reza, I guess the question is, Qatar has placed itself as a mediator of sorts in regional conflicts, and now that Doha has been a major supplier of arms to rebels in Syria, does a new man at the helm change things?
Well, the narrative here, if you listen to the leadership, if you listen to the royal family, is that just because there's been a change in leadership doesn't mean that there's going to be a change.
Russia's foreign minister says Edward Snowden has not entered Russia and that his government had nothing to do with the Americans' disappearance.
He independently chose his route.
After days of huge anti-government protests across Brazil, President Dilma Rousseff has proposed a referendum on reforming the political system. She also offered to channel $22 billion into improving public transportation. It's been a volatile couple of days for the Shanghai Composite. It fell as much as 5.8% at one point today on persistent concerns over the government's credit tightening policy. A late rally meant it ended just down a fraction. The rebound came after China's central bank said that it would guide market rates down to reasonable levels. Well, as we've mentioned to you earlier, it has been a week since monsoon rains struck northern India, causing flooding and landslides. So are conditions likely to improve there? Our meteorologist, Mari Ramos, is at the World Weather Center with those details. Hi, Mari.
Hey, Christy, excuse me, Monita, sorry, welcome back, by the way. When we look at the situation in India and with the monsoon, the thing to remember is...
Okay, Mari, thank you very much for that. Dense haze has been the problem in Singapore and Malaysia, and now Indonesia's president is saying sorry. He's asking for the neighboring countries' understanding and says his government will address the situation. Watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Silvio Berlusconi has been given a prison sentence, but he's not backing down. The former Italian Prime Minister, plans to appeal the guilty verdict in his underage sex trial. CNN's Ben Wiedemann reports. Financial police have raided the offices of dozens of Italian football clubs, including some of the most famous names in the sport. Lazio, Juventus and AC Milan are among the 41 clubs raided in an investigation into financial corruption and tax evasion. We have that story coming into the newsroom. We'll bring you more on it when we get it. Now, it's not unusual to see a shock exit in the early rounds of the Wimbledon Championships, but nobody saw this one coming. Christina McFarlane joins us now from London, where Rafael Nadal's bid for a third Wimbledon title came badly unstuck. And Christina, I understand Mr. Nadal is not blaming his knee.
That's right, Monita. He appeared in his press conference yesterday not to be blaming his knee.
Well, hoping to break some records, hopefully, or make some history this time around. Christina, thank you very much for that. Christina McFarlane there in London for us. Well, we can pretty much safely assume that love isn't a word that Nadal likes right now, but for many it's one they yearn for, and where there is a need, there is a business. Felicia Taylor gets in on the mix to show us how the business of love is booming.
Is certain there are now fortunes to be made from flirting. Felicia Taylor, CNN, New York.
And I'm Monita Rajpal in Hong Kong. You've been watching CNN News Center. Stay with us. We'll update you the news headlines in just a couple of minutes.